Hello everybody. Happy Thursday. We're going to talk just a little bit today about fear, okay? So if you're watching, make sure you hit the likes. It makes the algorithm so that people actually know we're live. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe. That way you get notified when we do post new videos. Sorry, I have a dog at my feet today. So, fear. We all have it, right? Whether it's irrational fears, realistic fears, like irrational, I hate snakes. I do not like them at all. There's no real reason that I don't like snakes. I just don't like them. They scare the crap out of me every time. That's on the irrational fear side. My mother-in-law and my mom actually hate mice. Same thing. It is what it is. But we all have those fears that root deep down inside of us. The ones that we may not always consciously think about, but they affect our decisions. They affect how we live and the choices that we make. Excuse me, here. Okay. One of those fears, actually the main fear for me, is that somehow there won't be enough. Either I won't be enough or I won't have enough and my family will be left short. This is something that I've been working on a lot, but it's a process, okay? And that's really all life is a process. So we take one day at a time. How and why does this affect my decisions? So the last thing I want is for my family to be short. Short of food, short of finances, short of simply my time or me. So that changes how I live and the decisions I make, right? What do I do with that now? First, don't let the fear overtake you. I acknowledge that it's there, yes, and then remind myself of all the ways that God has provided for us. 2020 was huge for this. There were so many times I can't even count them where it didn't look like we were going to have enough, where a need wasn't going to get met, and the last possible minute, God showed up, provided again and again and again. And I have to go through and I have to remind myself of those, that, it's okay. We're going to be okay. Like, God will provide for us. He's provided in the past. And with that, then my heart calms, my head clears. I can think clearly. I can take the next step clearly. And then I thank God for His provision. I ask Him to continue to remind me, to send me those reminders, because I need them. That fear keeps coming back up. This fear has also been a motivator for me. I've turned that into motivation. Instead of living in crippling fear and hiding, I did something about it, okay? So I started staying home after my son was born. With that, our normal monthly income was cut in about half. But we also took a deep cut on expenses, right? Because I wasn't paying for daycare. And I wasn't going to pay for two in daycare, which is why I started staying home, ultimately. But we also lost our insurance. That went up a little bit. The grocery bill would be increasing too, as my son started to grow and eat actual food. Knew we had some time, so we could play with that for a little bit. But we were also eating at home all the time, instead of my daughter eating at daycare and me just taking leftovers to work. Like, all meals were at home now. Okay, we've got to offset that somehow. So I looked around. What can I do to... And I started planning this before my son was even born, because this wouldn't have happened otherwise. We already lived on an acreage. I already had a garden I played with every summer. There are some things I was good at, other things I could be better at. So why not take it to the next level? Why not have that garden that had just been kind of a summer hobby and actually have it make it provide food for our family. As much of it as we could. So it began. I started the fall or the winter before he was born, kind of dabbling in a little bit of research, like, okay, what could I grow? What can I do better? How do I make this garden more productive? Put more in it with the same amount of space, right? Excuse me. I learned to start preserving our food. So we grow a lot of tomatoes, but we do tomato sauce, we do salsa, we do spaghetti sauce. I do some frozen usually. I actually dehydrated some last fall. So I started learning how to preserve that for the winter. If our family liked to eat it, I started learning how to grow it. We go through a lot of carrots. We go through a lot of broccoli. Still working on the broccoli. I'm not very good at that yet. But we're getting there. We're experimenting this year. We're learning and growing. And in the winter, I take that time to research, to learn. I actually pulled out a notebook this year because I'm like, okay, I've got notes everywhere, like I need to consolidate them. I started making my list already. Okay, this is what I need to research this fall and winter and like get a better grasp on. So with that, during the summertime, my family really doesn't buy many vegetables at the grocery store because we grow so many of them. We've also started an orchard, so hopefully that we can meet a lot of our fruit needs and start preserving that way as well. Again, a lot of this is in the beginning stages. The garden, that's still growing. I think I've said before, like, I had to apologize to my husband because I thought I had a big enough garden, and I've now expanded it twice. And probably going to continue to expand every year. So I just kind of admitted that, and eventually we just may have a ginormous garden eventually. So that fear that started as not having enough, which is I choose another word. I'll think of it. Not having enough, a scarcity mindset basically, that's the word I was looking for, has turned into a garden with huge potential. It has the potential to meet probably about 80% of our family's vegetables and fruit needs. I say 80% because there's some things like I just won't grow. Peas are not worth my time. Kidney beans are another one, just not worth my time, worth the garden space. There's some fruits that we just can't grow here. Oranges, bananas, pineapple, like a lot of those fruits just don't grow here. Right now our garden's probably at about 50% of our family needs as far as the vegetables. And all of this came about from not giving into the fear, but stepping back, looking around, asking for guidance, and looking for the opportunity within that fear. So, let me know in the comments below, what's a fear that you've used, that you've had, that you could turn into an opportunity? And that's it. If you are watching on YouTube, we have a whole group that is for free. It's a free group over on Facebook, and it's Courageous and Purposeful Mommas, where we go into all sorts of details over just providing for our kids, honestly, and our families. So we will talk to you guys later. Have a good week.